Hey, Shalom, all praises, glory, honor, and fear to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Macha, Kwadash. That belongs to elders and apostles, rule well, GMS, citation to elect, true warriors, house of David, the few men left. And it's a surprisingly scarce amount of men that's really left upon their feet, holding their integrity. And the Lord bringing a lot of division, but the watchmen, the true men, they have the eyes single, and they really sing this thing for what it is. So when you go to the book of Kings, I'm gonna first start at 1 Kings 12 and verse 1, because the title of this part is King Rehoboam acts foolishly, and you have a lot of men, they act foolishly with this truth. Matter of fact, let's just get that word for foolishly real quick. And we're in the time of a lot of men basically falling away from the first love, falling away from the truth, giving heed to seducing spirits. There's a lot of doctrine of devils, a lot of evil going on. And this word foolishly says in an unwise manner, stupidly. You see, unwise, you see, and this goes into the parable of Matthew 25, literally the times that we're living in. So this is 1 Kings 12. We'll start verse 1. And Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel were come to Shechem to make him king. Now I'm just going to jump, and I want to read the whole thing, but I'm just going to jump around. Verse 3. That they sent and called him, and Jeroboam and all the congregation of Israel came and spake unto Rehoboam, saying, Thy father made our yoke grievous, now therefore make thou the grievous service of thy father, and his heavy yoke which he put upon us lighter, and we will serve thee. And he said unto them, Depart yet for 3 days, then come again to me. And the people departed. And King Rehoboam consulted with the old men that stood before Solomon his father while he yet lived, which we know what happened to Solomon. His heart was turned away from the Lord with all those women, and said, How do ye advise that I may answer this people? And they spake unto him, saying, If thou wilt be a servant unto this people this day, and will serve them, and answer them, and speak good words to them, then they will be thy servants forever. But he forsook the counsel of the old men, which they had given him, and consulted with the young men that were grown up with him, and which stood before him. And he said, and the point I'm trying to make is that it's not always wise to take the counsel of men that are always around you. You see? Because they're going to have that respected person. They ain't really going to have the counsel of the Lord, which the Lord said about the counsel of the Lord. That's what's going to stand in these times. There be many counsels in the man's heart, but the Lord's counsel is going to stand. Psalms 33 and 11. The counsel of the Lord stands forever, and the thoughts of his heart to all generations. And that's what the house of David is all about. Just like David, they have the same characteristics. Men after the Most High's heart, after his mind, not man's mind. Because man's going off, man's liars, man. Even amongst his truth, there are, Proverbs 19:21, there are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of Yahweh that shall stand, while everything else is going to fall. And it's going to be some great falls, man. Like when you go to the parable, Yahweh Shai said, and great was the fall of that house. Because why? It didn't take heed to the word of the Lord. Matthew 7 and 27. And the rain descended, which is this tribulation, right? This bad weather, these bad times. And the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it, right? So great is to be a fall of the house of the wicked, even on the 2/3 of our people, even in this truth. You see, brothers? So it's very important you keep your mind sharp and sharpening this word, man, your mind. You see? Matter of fact, let me go to precept in Ecclesiasticus real quick, and then we'll jump back to Kings. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus. This is Ecclesiasticus 3 and verse 9. All right. For the blessing of the father established the houses of children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations. Glory not in the dishonor of thy father, for thy father's dishonor is not glory unto thee. For the glory of a man is from the honor of his father, and a mother in dishonor is a reproach to the children. My son, help thy father in his age, and grieve him not as long as he liveth. And if his understanding fail, have patience with him. See? And despise him not when thou art in thy full strength. Because when you get older, you tend to lose your senses. It says, for the relieving of thy father shall not be forgotten, and instead of sins it shall be added to build thee up. And that's what the Lord is doing. He's building up the house of David. It says, in the day of thine affliction it shall be remembered. Thy sins all shall melt away as the ice in the fair warm weather. You see that? He that forsaketh his father is a blasphemer, and he that angereth his mother is cursed of power. And your mother is symbolic of this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. The Lord said, call wisdom your sister. Verse 17, my son, go on with thy business in meekness, so shalt thou be beloved of him that is approved. And when you go to Sirach as well, because when you go into the life of Yahushai, who was it that gave him up? It was the chief rulers, the elders, the Pharisees. That's who gave him up. And the Yahushai said, discerns not great as master. We're to suffer similar things of the Sanhedrin, so to say, or the council of men. Matthew 27 and 20. But the chief priests and elders persuaded the multitude that they should ask Barabbas and destroy Yahushai. You see, so the same thing is playing out today with the Lord's true men. You see, our people love murderers, they love liars. All right. Matter of fact, I get this as well. This is Luke 10 and verse 21, and this is why the Lord said this. In that hour Yahweh shall rejoice in spirit and said, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, that thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, and hast revealed them unto babes. Even so, Father, for it seemed good in thy sight. So this is good in the sight of the Lord. It says, all things are delivered to me of my Father, and no man knoweth whom the Son is but the Father, and who the Father is but the Son. And he to whom the Son will reveal him. And he turned him unto his disciples and said privately, blessed are the eyes which see the things that ye see. So we're blessed to be comprehend and perceive what's going on. Everyone can see the truth, can see men on the highways and byways, but you have to be able to perceive. And let's get that word perceive real quick. Alright, perceive is become aware or conscious of something, come to realize or understand, discernment, recognize. You see? Which has a spiritual power. means sense, conclude, apprehend, comprehend. You see? And wisdom is not always calculated by age or how old you are or how old you've been in this truth. Or length of days. Wisdom of Solomon 4:8, for honorable age is not that which standeth in length of time, nor that is measured by number of years, right? So, even with Yahushai, let me get this, because Yahushua was made perfect in a short time. He died fairly young. Wisdom of Solomon 4 and verse 12. Let me get the point. Verse 13 says, he being made perfect in a short time fulfilled a long time. It says, for his soul pleased the Lord, therefore hasted he to take him away from among the wicked. And that's what the Lord is doing right now. He's hasting to take the righteous from the wicked. Because as the scriptures say, a man's way is good, but his neighbor seduceth him. Let's get that in Proverbs. Yeah, the Lord said the time will come they will not endure sound doctrine. That time's the end, man. Evidently, Proverbs 12 and 26 says, the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. What's the way of the wicked? Death. Destruction. You see? So let's keep reading here in 1 Kings. 1 Kings 12 in verse 9. It says, and he said unto them, what counsel give ye that we may answer this people, who have spoken to me, saying, make the yoke which thy father did put upon us lighter. And the young men that were grown up with him spake unto him, saying, thus shalt thou speak unto this people that speak unto thee, saying, thy father made our yoke heavy, but make thou it lighter unto us, that thus shalt thou say unto them, my little finger shall be thicker than my father's loins. Basically meaning he's going to be even more burdensome, even more wicked and evil. And now, whereas my father did lay you with a heavy yoke, I will add to your yoke. You see, he's going to give more on the yoke. My father hath chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions. You see that? Verse 13, and the king answered the people roughly and forsook the old men's counsel that they gave him, like we read earlier. Wisdom is not, matter of fact, let's go to Job real quick. Length of days. So let's go to the book of Job. Job 12 and 12 with it. Let me go back here. All right, Job 12 and verse 11. We'll start. It says, doth not the ear try words, right? You test what man is saying, and the mouth tastes his meat. With ancient is wisdom, and in length of days understanding. Sometimes people are like, oh, you have an ancient spirit, you have an old soul. It says, with him is wisdom and strength, yet counsel and understanding. And Lord also reiterates in Job how great men are not always wise. You see? Neither do the aged understand judgment. Like read earlier in Sirach 3. When thy father's understanding faileth, have patience with him. So that's what the thing is all about, suffering for a long period of time. 1 Kings 12 and 14. And spake to them after the council of young men, saying, my father made your yoke heavy. Right? He's not going to chastise with whips, but with scorpions. Which, let's get that word for scorpions real quick. Basically means he's going to be even worse. Alright, Iqarab. Lord said he's going to give his men power to trample on scorpions, which is basically the wicked of our people. verse 15. Wherefore the king hearkened not unto the people, for the cause was from the Lord, you see. So this is what the Lord's doing, that he might perform his saying, which the Lord spake by Ahijah the Shilonite unto Jeroboam the son of Nebat. And this is when the kingdom was divided. Jeroboam rules Israel, Rehoboam was in Judah. And we're still in that time now of the kingdom being divided. There's men that take this man's side, that man's side, because the Lord doesn't want everybody. All right, this is from the prophecy of the prophet Ahijah in 1 Kings 11 in verse 30. And Ahijah caught the new garment that was on him and rent it in 12 pieces. See, it was divided. And he said to Jeroboam, take thee 10 pieces, for thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, behold, I will rend the kingdom out of the hand of Solomon, and will give 10 tribes to thee. You see, so it was divided. Same thing now with this truth. And this is why Paul said this in Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 3 and verse 3 says, verse 1. And I, brethren, cannot speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Yahushua. I have fed you with milk and not with meat. For hitherto ye were not able to bear it, neither yet now are ye able. For ye are yet carnal, for whereas there is among you envying and strife and divisions, are ye not carnal and walk as men? For while one saith, I am of Paul, and another, I am of Apollos, are ye not carnal? See, when you have to be of Yahushua. John 7 and verse 43. So there was a division among people because of him. Because of who? Because of Yahushua. You see? And once Shiloh comes, then shall be the gathering of the tribes. Then all Israel is going to be righteous in the kingdom. But right now there's a lot of wicked. Psalms 119 and 94 says, verse 93. Matter of fact, 92. Unless thy law had been my delights, I should then have perished in mine affliction. I will never forget thy precepts, for them thou hast quickened me. I am thine, save me, for I have sought thy precepts. The wicked have waited for me to destroy me, but I will consider thy testimonies. The spirit of prophecy. I have seen an end of all perfection, but thy commandment is exceeding broad. Oh, how I love thy law, is my meditation all the day. Though through thy commandments thou hast made me wiser than mine enemies, for they are ever with me. I have more understanding than all my teachers, for thy testimonies are my meditation. I understand more than the ancients, because I keep thy precepts. And why? Because you're keeping the precepts. I have refrained my feet from every evil way, that I may keep thy word. I have not departed from thy judgments, for thou hast taught me. You see, and the judgment of the Lord is within the word. And that's what the Lord's going to do to judge Israel. And when you go into Deuteronomy 1, same thing's happening all over again through the Spirit. Deuteronomy 1 and 26. Notwithstanding, ye would not go up, but rebelled against the commandment of Yahweh your power. And that's what our people do. Even guys in this truth, they rebel against the command of the Lord. They like to add and subtract and play the word and play games. See? You're not destroying us or doing nothing to us. You're just destroying yourself. My people destroyed for lack of knowledge. And ye murmured in your tents and said, because the Lord hath hated us, he hath brought us forth out of the land of Egypt to deliver us into the hand of the Amorites to destroy us. Whither shall we go up? See, their mind was condemned, man, because of their unbelief. That's why the Lord said in Sirach, blessed is the man whose mind is not condemned him, whose conscience is not fallen. He says, whither shall we go up? Our brethren have discouraged our hearts, saying, the people is greater and taller than we, The cities are great and walled up to heaven, and moreover we have seen the sons of Anakims there, and this is how dudes act with Esau. Oh my gosh, they're so great, look what they're doing. Oh, they're doing this. They're only doing what the Lord's allowing them to do, man. The Lord's in control. That's what you have to remember. Then I said unto you, dread not, neither be afraid of them, for Yahweh your power, which goes before you, he shall fight for you, according to all that he did for you in Egypt before your eyes. And in the wilderness, where thou hast seen how that the Lord thy God bare thee, as a man doth bear his son, and all the way that ye went, until ye came into this place. Yet in this thing ye did not believe the Lord your God, who went in the way before you, to search you out a place to pitch your tents in, and fire by night, to show you by what way ye should go, and a cloud by day. And Yahweh heard the voice of your words, and was wroth, and sware, saying, surely there shall not one of these men of this evil generation see that good land which I swear to give unto your fathers, save Caleb the son of Jephunneh. He shall see it, and to him will I give the land that he hath trodden upon, and to his children, because he hath wholly followed the Lord. You see that? Wholly followed the Lord. Also the Lord was angry with me for your sake, saying, thou also shalt not go in thither. But Joshua the son of Nun, which stands before thee, he shall go in thither. Encourage him, for he shall cause Israel to inherit. Moreover, your little ones, you see, that's why the Lord said, beware of the little ones, which ye said should be a prey, and your children, which in that day had no knowledge of between good and evil, they shall go in thither, and unto them will I give it, and they shall possess it. And that's why the Lord said in Sirach, this is what guys do. They're not real friends, man. Not real brothers. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus. Hold up. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll get this one first. Sirach 42:8 says, be not ashamed, right? We're not ashamed of the gospel, this truth, and I'm bringing it out, man. And we don't care who might offend, because if you're offended, you're not offended at us, you're offended at the word Yahweh Shai. Be not ashamed to inform the unwise and foolish, in the extreme age that contendeth with thee, those that are young. Thus shalt thou be truly learned, and improve all men living. You see that? Let me also get this as well. What shall befall thee? Yeah, man, a lot of dudes gonna be destroyed. Yep, here's right here, Sirach 37 and verse 7. Every counsel extolleth counsel, but there is some that counseleth for himself. Beware of a counselor, and know what before what need he hath, for he will counsel for himself, lest he cast the law upon thee, and say unto thee, thy way is good, and afterward he stand on the other side to see what shall befall thee, right? Because he doesn't really trust in what you're doing, where you're walking the straight gate. A lot of guys in the broad gate, they're going to be destroyed. You see? And this is for you sincere brothers, man, because you see there's a lot of rocky things, a lot of shaky things happening, man. So this is just to ground you and establish your feet and comfort you, man. Jeremiah 8:8, how do ye say we are wise, and the law of the Lord is with us? Lo, certainly in vain he made it. The pen of the scribes is in vain, right? All these writings, all these words is in vain to you wicked Pharisees and scribes, man. The wise men are ashamed. They're ashamed of Yahweh and the gospel. And that's why it's woe to these guys, man. Paul said, woe is me if I preach not the gospel. A lot of guys ain't preach the gospel. They're just preaching, they're just teaching this, teaching that. You know, they are dismayed and taken low. They have rejected the word of Yahweh, and what wisdom is in them. Therefore I give their wives unto others, and their fields to them that shall inherit them, right? Just like the Lord's little ones in Deuteronomy 1. For everyone from the least even unto the greatest is given to covetousness, right? In the highs and lows. Guys with 1,000 subscribers, dudes with 2 subscribers, camp heads, given unto covetousness, from the prophet even unto the priest, everyone dealeth falsely. You see that, man? For they have healed the dog, heard of my dog, people slightly saying peace, peace, when there is no peace, right? They only give you a little bit, you know, a little bit of balm, you know, and then they leave the other part just open wound, man, and it's festering, and there's no peace. We're at war right now, man. You see, we'll probably come back to Jeremiah 8, but this is Matthew 15:7. Ye hypocrites, right? Fake actors, man. Well did Isaiah prophesy of you, saying, This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines, commandments of men. You see that? And this is the vast majority of our nation, man. You see? Jeremiah 2 and verse 8 says, The priest said not, Where is Yahweh? And they that handle the law knew me not. The pastors also transgressed against me, and the prophets prophesied by Baal. And that's what a lot of guys prophesying by. And walked after things that do not profit. Wherefore I will yet plead with you, saith the Lord, and with your children's children will I plead. Let's get that word for plead. Hebrew word rayab. Right, to contend with words. Make up complaint, a quarrel. Contend, because when you read to strive, right, and when you go to Proverbs 28:4, those that forsake the law praise the wicked, but such as keep it contend with them. So we're contending with the ones that's left the law, forsaking the Lord. 2 Timothy 3 and verse 13 says, But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. And this is what we see happening. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them, and that from a child thou hast known the Holy Scriptures, which are able to make these wise unto salvation through faith which is in Yahushua Mashiach. Alright. Yeah, man, it's a heavy time, man. Dude's trying to say, oh, subterfuge. Oh, we're using subterfuge. Nah, man, when you go into scriptures, it's not right, man. I don't care if you take an S or whatever, man, from the scriptures and tell other men to do so. Matter of fact, let's get a precept, man. You know, and it's just, it's really heavy, man, the times you're in. Matthew. And you hear those, you're over here teaching men, so too, Matthew 5:19. And see, no camps above rebuke. This is a rebuke to GMS as well. Sakari, ISPK, all y'all, man, IUIC. Take it how you want it. Matthew 5:18. Sorry, let me get to point 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of the least of these commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. And the ones that teaching everything, they're going to be hated, man, on a high level. On a great magnitude. First Ezra 6:32. And he commanded that whosoever should transgress, yet, or make light of anything afore spoken or written, out of his own house should a tree be taken, and he thereon be hanged, and all his goods seized for the king. Says the Lord, therefore, whose name is there called upon, utterly destroy every king and nation that stretcheth out his hand to hinder or in damage the house of the Lord in Jerusalem. I, Darius the king, have ordained that according unto these things it be done with diligence. You see, so this is what's about to happen, man. You know, you guys think that by pleasing men or pleasing YouTube or whatever, you're going to have your enemies at peace. You know it's about pleasing the Lord. The Lord's in control, man. How much more times do you have to say that? And not for much longer, because there's about to be a real fan of the word, man. Job 28 and verse 28. And unto man he said, behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and apart from evil is understanding, right? Not to keep going on and on and on. But see, when you cease from transgressing iniquity, you make yourself a prey. A lot of guys don't want to be a prey. They don't want to make themselves a true sacrifice, a right sacrifice. Jeremiah 8:12. Were they ashamed when they had committed abomination? Nay, they were not all ashamed, neither could they blush. Therefore shall they fall among them that fall. In the time of the visitation they shall be cast down, saith the Lord. Yeah, so I just want to bring that out, man. And a lot of things being revealed, man. The hearts of many being revealed. You know, Lord will use edify to be back a little later, Lord willing. Giving all the praise, Lord, and all the faith. How Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakadash. Why Baba Ball, death to all your anti-Yahushais. Salvation to the elect, the house of David.